Structure of a flower. In flowering plants, flowers form the reproductive system of the plant. They produce male and female gametes for sexual reproduction. Do you know what are the different structures found on a flower? Different parts of a flower are shown here. The stalk of the flower is called pedicel. It exposes the flower in a favorable position for pollination. There are 4 whorls which constitute a flower. Outermost whorl is usually made up of small green leaves known as sepals. Sepals protect the flower when it is in a bud form. Once a flower has blossomed, petals are the main parts that are visible. This second whorl is usually colored and attractive, at times scented also. All sepals collectively form calyx. Number of sepals in a flower varies from species to species. Similarly, all petals collectively form a different structure known as corolla. Number of petals is fixed for a particular species. But yes, it may be different for flowers of a different species. Petals are the ones which make a flower very attractive. If you look inside the petals, you will find male and female reproductive parts. Male reproductive part of a flower as its stamens. Most of the time they are numerous in a flower, but most flowers have 3, 4 or 5 stamens. Each stamen consists of 2 parts, anther and filament. The anther produces the pollen grains, which in turn produce the male gametes. The pollen grains come in different sizes and shapes, with smooth or coarse surfaces. Anthers are most commonly 2-lobed and are attached to the filament either at the base or in the middle portion. Stamens usually consist of a long, slender stalk, the filament. One end of the filament is attached to the base of the flower. The other end holds and exposes the anther to facilitate pollination. The stamens are collectively referred to as androecium. The number and position of the stamens are significant in the classification of flowering plants. The innermost part of a flower that is placed on a receptacle known as thalamus is carpal. Carpal is female reproductive part of a flower. Gynoecium or pistil is most commonly used as a collective term for all carpels in a flower. Carpal is made up of 3 parts: stigma, style, and ovary. The stigma is a receptive tip of the carpel, which receives pollen during pollination and where the pollen grains germinates. The stigma is adapted to catch and trap pollens as it has a sticky platform. The style of a carpel is a tube-like portion between the stigma and the ovary. It can be either long or short. This is where the pollen tube grows down to the ovary. The male gametes are in the tube. The pollen tube carrying the male gametes then enters the ovary. The ovary is a basal, swollen part of carpel. On opening an ovary, you will find ovules present inside it. Basically, these ovules are undeveloped seeds. If we cut the ovary this way, you will find ovules arranged like this. This arrangement of ovules within an ovary varies from species to species. So here we conclude that a flower consists of 4 main parts, that is, sepals, petals, stamens and carpel.